too soon. The cosmos look nice, I'm sure they're paradise, but I'll stay here with you. Should we jump or is it too soon? Jump or is it too soon? Look to the stars and do you think they are too far? Look to the stars and do you think they tell us who we are? Should we jump or is it too soon? Should we jump or is it too soon? I've been thinking of my time, yeah, and all the times I lied to myself, under the sun, yeah, under the sun. Thinking of my time, yeah, and all the times I lied to myself,
I don't think the people are ready for a live build, PJ. The people are not ready. They are not prepared.
What made you say that?
It's Wednesday.
I came prepared.
I mean, I came kind of prepared.
I think I
Came a little
unfortunately
prepared.
came too prepared for this.
You think
build.
so?
Just a tad.
Just a tad?
Maybe like 3/4 worth.
Do you know who we're building this PC for, though, PJ?
I take my pride on doing everything I do, hence the name he has, because I am a completionist myself. Oh, you saw what I did there?
All right, all right.
Oh, man.
Let's get it going.
Oh.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lewis. I'm your host for today's Origin PC live build for none other than the Completionist. PJ is currently doing some little tweaks to that Big O there. You want to angle the camera, though? Are you sitting today, PJ?
I'm sitting today.
He is sitting.
I want to chill.
For those of you new to our live builds, welcome, number one.
Look at that.
We're going to get to the specs shortly.
Right up there.
But PJ, if you want to quickly go over what you're doing over there.
I'm just doing a little cleaning up. If you give me like 2 more minutes, I can show you exactly what it is I'm doing.
All right, well, we'll give you 2 more minutes. We're going to talk about the specs of what we are building today. Give me a second here. Let me double check. All right, we're good to go. So we are building a Big O desktop today, but PJ has gone out the way a little bit here and actually completed a little bit of the part before the whole stream. But there's a reason for that, because putting together the console side requires a little bit of advanced work. So we did that, just to be prepared. We're cool. Anyways, so for those of you that don't know, the Big O is a PC combined with a game console. In this case, today's Big O features a PlayStation 4 Pro. The case that we're using is the Corsair Crystal Series 2080X. It's the white case.
280X.
280X. Oh, 280.
2080? You got 20 on your mind there, huh?
Yeah, I see that GPU down there. It's getting me excited.
Oh.
The power supply is a Corsair SF750 Plus Platinum power supply, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that powers the PC.
Yes, sir.
The motherboard is an ASRock X550M Pro 4 motherboard, so for those of you that are aware of PC hardware, you know what's coming up soon. The cooling unit is an Origin PC Frostbite 240 all-in-one cooler, and PJ did remind me that the PlayStation 4 is also liquid-cooled with an all-in-one unit. PJ, can you remind me what?
It is a Corsair H60.
H60, so that's the PlayStation side that's being cooled by the H60. For the fans, we're using Corsair LL IQ RGB fans, so they got the LED ring in the inside and the outside. What else do we got? Oh, that's right. The processor, the crown jewel of this system, if I would say so myself, the AMD Ryzen 9 3950X, coming in at 3.5 gigahertz with 16 cores. Although I believe that number is wrong. It's a 4.7 gigahertz max turbo. Origin PCO coming with a subscription for those of you that don't know. What else we got? 11 gigabyte NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Ti, top of the top. I know people are always looking forward to the next gen GPU stuff, but guess what? Today, the 2080 Ti is the top of the top, so that's what we're going with today. For the RAM, we're going 32 gigabytes of 3200 megahertz DDR4 Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB RAM. It's very pretty. I have some at home. It's great. For the OS storage, we went with 500 gigabytes of Samsung 970 EVO Plus NVMe M.2 SSD. For extra storage, for the PC side, we use a 2 terabyte Samsung 970 EVO Plus NVMe M.2 SSD. The console, is the PlayStation 4 Pro. And for those of you that also don't know, it's only digital. So for those of you that like your disc, I apologize. I know a lot of people like their physical media, but the Big O is designed around the fact that it's all digital. So we're using the PlayStation 4 with a focus on digital games. What else we got? Oh, by the way, we upgraded that PlayStation 4 Pro. We added a 1TB Samsung 860 QVO SSD. So not only are you playing with a little extra storage, I think, if I'm correct. No, it's not extra storage.
Speed.
Faster speed. That's what you're getting with
Yes,
that, because we're using SSD. Now, is it as good as the PlayStation 5? Don't get me started about those SSDs in the next gen consoles. Then I get jealous. But we'll get to that later. Finally, this Big O does include the Elgato 4K60 Mark II Pro capture card. Correct, PJ? Yes? Yes? No? I hear silence.
It has the first gen.
The first gen. Oh, I got excited for a second. Still, very good capture card. And of course, we got our Origin Wooden Crate armor, the warranty, lifetime US-based support, lifetime free labor, and of course, Windows 10. Pete, do you want to adjust the camera slightly so we can,
so that we can get into this.
get back into it? And we're eventually going to get the completionist himself in here.
All right, cool. That'll be good. All
All
right,
right, hold on. Let me know when you're ready. I don't think that's a good angle though. You guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. I'm trying to make sure everything looks good. That's good. I'm okay with that.
So, if anybody's a little weirded out what we're looking at, this is the PS4.
Hold on. Now you can do it. I'm actually do some adjustments while you're doing that.
Is the PS4. So what we did was we took a PS4 Pro completely apart, and we shoved it inside of a computer.
That's not as easy you make it seem, because what you guys are actually looking at is the PS4 motherboard, the power supply, and a whole bunch of cables and stuff that we've added to make sure it works. So give me a second here. I'm doing some adjustments. So.
All right. So over here we have a custom plate for the power supply. Attached to the custom plate, we put the riser, Corsair riser, and we attach it to the 4K capture card. We also used.
There we go.
Over here and stretch it up.
It looks good.
Your reset button is now your power button for the PS4. So that powers the entire system on.
How do I play with my controller?
Your controller is plugged in over here in the back. Everything is plugged into the back. It's your HDMI cable connection. There's your USB. There's your power. And we connected an Ethernet.
Yay, Ethernet.
Yay, Ethernet!
Yeah, who likes connecting via Wi-Fi? Not me. No, sir. I don't like my Wi-Fi. It's only good when you're traveling. It's not good when you're...
Do you like your Ethernet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, give me that Ethernet. All right. So that is the PS4 side. And actually, let's bring in...
We added the Noctua fan.
Noctua fan.
Most optimum cooling as we can.
Oh, I like the black ones. Have you seen the black ones?
I have not.
Oh, they
came out with black.
Yeah, they did. They came out with black ones.
Okay, so we would have to...
Not to knock Noctua, I think is great. And we love our Corsair fans here, obviously. But Noctua's really good.
This is a 60mm fan.
Yep.
So we need something small. So Noctua does make a great fan. We also added these little heat sinks over here.
Can you zoom in so people can see, can understand?
Let me see if I can get some more light over here. Cause there's not enough
Yeah, if you adjust it, I can also boost the light too on your end if you want me to.
Yeah, if you could, please.
Give me a second, boys. I'm going to use my Elgato Control Center app and boost the light power.
Boost my light power.
All right, let's see. Nope, I'm boosting my own light power. Ah, it's so bright.
Wrong one, sir. Wrong one.
Turn it down. No, turn that one down. I'm turning the wrong one down. There you go. I'm boosting PJ's light.
There you go.
I'm boosting my own light a little bit there. All right, cool. Yeah, PJ, once you're done showing off those heat sinks, we're going to bring the completionist on board. I know he's on standby.
Cool. So, let me bring this sucker back.
All right, the light's good, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Put
Again.
these little VRAM sinks right on here to keep it cool. And I did test it. I ran it last night for 24 hours straight, and it did not shut off, so everything is all good.
And how do you test the PS4 side, just so people know?
What I do is strictly I'll set up a game on the system itself. I'll run like God of War, for example, or...
Which is demanding.
Very demanding. And then what I'll do is I'll shut off all the sleep modes to make sure that the system itself doesn't shut off. And then leave it on a certain level of the game. And sometimes I'll get the controller and plug it in, and then I'll just stick a rubber band to the analog and just make it keep spinning around repeatedly over and over again.
Sounds good. Cool
Because
stuff.
obviously there's no really way to actually test it. Unless I'm sitting right behind it and playing it myself.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that, you know, on the PC side we have benchmarking tools and all these other cool
Correct.
things that we can, you know, run in the background, run for hours to make sure the PC hardware's good to go. But with the PlayStation, we come up with our own method to make sure everything's good to go. Because the thing is, by doing that, you'll actually sometimes find that it might be heat issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a long, long time ago, early on with the whole Big O thing, we did find a couple, but we fixed them.
Yes, no, absolutely. This is the one that's actually revised 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The original ones, the first gens that came out, did not come with Ethernet connections. They were all Wi-Fi.
Oh no, trust me. I started up a storm internally. I was like, guys, how does this not have Ethernet? Come on.
Me too, man. Me too.
All right, so all this tech stuff is gonna be put on hold slightly because we're gonna get none other than the Completionist on the line very soon.
Check this out.
What?
There's
Wait.
nothing in here.
Okay.
Oh, man. What do we do?
Oh, we'll get to that shortly. Let's bring in our special guest. Give me a second here. I'm gonna unmute that. And good to go. Mr. Gerard, you there?
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey! Welcome
Good afternoon.
to the stream. Were you just watching the PlayStation 4 shenanigans in your PC?
I absolutely was. Holy crap!
It's
I'm genuinely blown away. Like I knew that you guys were building a pretty big PC with the PS4. I just didn't recognize how powerful it was with the PS4 also in it.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Since I actually have it turned on this side, I know that it looks a little messy right now, but we'll take care of that. There's your H60 cooler. So the radio is actually attached and wrapped over into the front side where the PC will be.
So yeah, that's
Wow.
the cooler for the PlayStation 4 CPU.
Holy God! Oh
So
my goodness.
another heads up too that I can remind you before you even get started and it weirds you out. If you because it happens to everybody who purchases one.
Yeah.
If you notice, the 280X has two fans in the front. Your bottom fan is for the PS4. So whatever point in time you're not running it, this fan will not spin. It only
Gotcha.
works when the PS4 is on. But your Corsair iQ will be running because that's attached to the PC.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you are aware.
Interesting.
So if you ever get the system and you're running and you don't have the PS4 running and you think that thing not spinning, nothing's wrong.
Gotcha. Okay, good to know. Because I definitely would be that guy that takes out the box and goes, "The thing should be working, but it's not. What do I do?"
Oh, absolutely, it works.
Yeah, a little ingenuity there for sure to get that going.
This is insane. You know, I'm a huge console gamer. You guys give me plenty of options as to what I wanted for a PC for this relationship. And when I heard about Origin PC because of the Big O, and so the minute that you guys were like, hey, how do you feel about the Big O? I'm like, yes, I definitely want a Big O, especially because on my streams we play a ton of PS4 games. We do a lot of recording and live streaming at the same time, and just based on the specs you guys put in here, this PC is like designed for, not literally like in the sense that you guys are doing it right now, but it's designed for someone like me who really has the need for something like this 100%.
It's perfect.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you
Work.
mentioned, the streaming aspect of it makes it really convenient because you can just do everything in that one box.
Lewis, it's not working.
PJ, it's not even on. The controller's not even on.
Yeah, it is. Look, it's blinking. Come on, man. I know what I'm doing. I know how to turn a controller on. What's wrong with this?
So,
Doesn't it work?
just a little note here. I know you have, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, you have a massive game collection, correct?
Yes, I do. And the funny thing is that I didn't set out to get a massive game collection. It was the kind of thing where early on in my career, I had so many fans who wanted me to play all these games.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple of fans too who were like, hey, I'm getting married or I'm moving out of my parents' house and I have all these extra games and I don't know who to give them to. I'll give them to you. And by proxy, I've just accumulated a game collection on accident. And it's kind of been, since I wasn't trying to, but suddenly I had all these games and now I've just been in that zone of, oh man, now I have a game collection going. It's time to actually take it seriously.
Mhm.
And so I spend a lot of time now going to gaming conventions, talking to the high buyers and being like, "Yo, I'm looking for this really rare game. Do you have it lying in there somewhere?" And they show me the good stuff, and then the negotiating begins. And I'm definitely an avid game collector nowadays.
Do you have any rare games?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Like anything in particular, like recently you just bought?
I don't really have so many rare games so much as I have rare collectibles. For instance, I have, this is so cool. The guys at Rare gave me a one-of-a-kind blueprint of the early layout for Conker's Bad Fur Day for the Overworld map. And so all of the devs signed it.
That's
and
crazy.
It's in my office. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Another thing is there's when Square Enix made Final Fantasy 15, they released a free to download, free to play pixel beat 'em up.
Mhm.
And Square Enix was so happy with that game that they gave the developers as like a special thank you, a quote unquote hard copy of the game. And so they like recreated like I think the game is called let me look it up real quick so I don't ruin the name. But yeah, they gave all the employees this rare special edition retro themed physical beat 'em up. A King's Tale is what it's called. That's right, a King's Tale. And so I got one from a friend who works at the company. So it's like one of like 30 that exist in the world. So I've gotten really into not just getting rare games, but rare promotional collectibles too that you can't really find anywhere on eBay or on Amazon or anything like that.
That's right, eBay. You hear that? You can't get this stuff.
Well, on eBay, it's a big gamble, right?
No, yeah.
I have no idea.
You got an attitude towards eBay, huh?
I'm okay with eBay sometimes. I mean, it's a good place to get rid of some stuff.
Did eBay break your heart or something?
I'm not gonna lie, I got rid of some stuff on my end through eBay, like some collector's editions that I'm just not. It's like I look at it, I'm kind of like, eh.
Are you everybody else that like they caught the Amazon bug and forgot about eBay?
No, I mean,
I caught that bug. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, someone on chat mentions they've been screwed by eBay multiple times. I guess that's the problem with eBay, is that you're risking, especially if you're selling or buying, because you could be like, oh, this person's got a great record, and then they send you a box of rocks.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened to me, but I've seen stories about that. So, are selling now PS4 or PS4 box, just the box. That's me, the PlayStation 5. Speaking of PlayStation 5, what are your thoughts on it? I know you did a video a couple weeks ago covering that. Any other thoughts you want to share on stream? So we're on a PC-focused stream. What do you got?
Oh man, I think to me hardware is always impressive, right? Like I'm always excited to see what the console looks like. I'm always excited to see what the controller looks like and how it plays. But the big thing for me is games. Like I really want to see what comes out of this thing. And so far, Demon's Souls has been the thing that has made me super excited.
Yeah.
Blue Point's a really reliable company. They're really good at making remakes of classic games that everyone loves. But I think at the end of the day, I really just want to see what first-party games that we're going to be seeing, especially because I don't know if you guys remember when you got your PS4s, but when the PS4 came out, we didn't really get a like dramatic like first-person. We got Knack, you know what I mean? Like Knack was the
Knack, baby.
Yeah, right. Like we got Knack, and that was it, and everything else was cross-generation from PS3 to PS4, Xbox 360 to Xbox One. So we didn't really get like a must-have thing. So that's what I'm really hoping for. And I think we're seeing that with the Miles Morales Spider-Man, which is great. But apparently, after reading articles, it's not going to be as robust as Spider-Man for PS4. Yeah. So I don't know. I just really hope that we get more launch games, because that to me is really what kind of sells the console to me.
I hear you there. I know the launch is always an interesting time for a new platform, not just the PlayStation, but also the Xbox. Because Xbox, I feel like their main anchor point has got to be Halo.
Oh, absolutely.
That and Forza.
Yeah, well, it has been announced, but it's safe to assume there's a Forza coming at launch.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of runs in that line of that same vein of it's expected because it's a yearly entry. So, like every year there's a Forza game or a racing game of some kind, and so I feel like it's expected to see a Forza game. I think it's a safe bet for sure.
Any expectations for that showcase that's coming up in a couple of weeks or a couple of days?
I would love it if Microsoft got weird with how many retro games they can get with Rare. I'd love to see, they're buying up studios left and right, so I would love to see what some of their second and third party studios are doing. Just because we haven't heard a lot from a few of them. We obviously know that Halo's coming and Battletoads that's being remade or reintroduced, but
Yep.
I really want to see
Hold on,
like.
I'm sorry. I know I'm
Oh.
busy working over here, but did you just say Battletoads?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
announced a couple years
Dude,
ago.
that was one of the dopest games ever for NES.
Oh yeah, man. Battletoads is great. It's hard. It's definitely really difficult, but
Oh yeah, that was one of the hardest games I've ever played, but it was also one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah, I played the demo of the new one, and it's a little bit slower, but it definitely feels like Battletoads. It feels like they figured out combat, and they figured out how to make it feel more modernized. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Microsoft has been around so long now with the Xbox that they can like lend themselves to release some old games that no one's expecting. Like I'd love to see another Banjo-Kazooie or another Conquer, which probably won't happen on that end, but
Yeah, Conquer. I would love a Conquer, but I just can't. I don't know. Can you honestly see a new Conquer game in the style of Bad Fur Day today?
I would say yes. Like you know what I mean? It's a situation where like we always talk about how we were kids. Wow, Conquer was such a controversial game, right? It got away with a lot. But there are games like Doom where you just rip dudes' arms off, and you know what I mean? Like we've had years of Duke Nukem. Like I think it's definitely okay that we have a new Conquer game.
I didn't
even see your Doom shirt.
Yeah, I'm wearing my little Doom shirt. I'm like, Doom. I'm all about that Doom. I'm working on an Ultra Nightmare playthrough, and it is nerve-wracking. Ugh.
Oh, dude.
It's like when your health gets down to 25 or in that range, everything in your body tenses up, and you're like, don't die, don't die, don't die. But I do plan on completing that Ultra Nightmare run this year at least, some point. Hold on, I apologize. Someone in chat asking me a question to me directly. AMD Ryzen 7 2700X with the 2070 Super. Do you think any bottleneck? No bottleneck. That's a still solid CPU. You're good. Thumbs up. Continue. I'm sorry.
So how often? I mean, you guys are probably on the cutting edge of like new parts and new systems coming out. How often do you find yourselves talking about new processors, new GPUs, new cases? Like how often is that for you guys? Like
I would say what, Lewis? Maybe like every couple of months.
Yeah, every couple of months or so.
So
On the PC side, it's always like, oh, we got a new. Actually, speaking of the devil, AMD just launched their 3000 XT series this week, which is like a little step up from the current Ryzen CPUs. So it's a nice little boost, especially for people that are kind of like on the edge of like, oh, should I go with Ryzen or go with Intel Core? But the XTs are very interesting right now. But yeah, we always talk. And the thing is, it's stuff that hasn't come out yet, and there's a stuff that we have no idea if it is going to come out. The big one being NVIDIA and AMD graphics cards this year. That's like the big point that I'm like, I keep mentioning on these streams and elsewhere. It's just like those GPUs are going to be a big deal, and we don't know anything yet.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, like the consoles have AMD graphics tech, which the PCs, if I'm correct, do not have yet. So, because like the PlayStation 5 showcase featured an AMD graphics card inside the PlayStation. However, it showed ray tracing, which AMD cards can't technically do in some games. And you can do it with a little bit of modding, but they're not supported straight out the gate. So I'm really interested to see both NVIDIA and AMD's angle on new graphics tech later in the year. So
It's got to be. I mean, I feel like when it comes to PC stuff, the hardware I mean, for year to year, do you guys feel like it really improves that much? Because I feel like, you know, obviously if you buy a PC,
You want
I don't know.
you want an answer from a more, I would say, enthusiast person, or would you want a
Yes.
you want a response? Okay, then you want the answer from Lewis.
Well, I want to hear both your responses now.
Okay, well, okay, Lewis's is first.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so it's always, if you really, really care about those frames, and especially if you care about high refresh rate monitors and like new tech coming out, it helps sometimes. I always tell people that the CPU is one of the most important components you can get, which is why the 3950X, which is in this PC, that's a CPU that will last a very long time. It's got 16 cores, way ahead of the game in terms of performance. Games, this thing, CPU wise, it can probably run games way in the future, because games aren't even at that level. Like if you look at the next gen consoles, actually let me double check really quick before I start talking about their core counts. But the 16 core 3950X is just, you know, miles ahead of what the new consoles are going to have. Graphics, and thankfully with graphics, at least you can always upgrade graphics. I think that's the graphics, the RAM are the two components I typically upgrade the most on a PC. And the reason I do that is, you know, to catch up to games or to make sure I get the best performance in the game. Speaking of Doom, for Doom Eternal, I made sure to do a PC upgrade. So I got Intel chip, NVIDIA card, and all the whole 9 yards for an upgrade. And was it worth it? If you ask someone else, probably not. But for me, it was absolutely worth it because, you know, I want to play Doom at the highest, you know, frame rate, best graphics, etc.
Correct. All right.
So, all right, PJ, go with your answer.
Okay, coming as a console gamer, because when I started working here, it was more like I just liked doing what I was doing, and I still go home and play my Xbox.
You like your
that
Xbox.
was me. So, I mean, little by little, I have a PC now, and I've been playing more games on it. But coming from somebody who really is switching from a console to the PC, yes, I can definitely see the difference. But switching from a 2070 to 2080 Ti, I personally isn't going to tell you I can see a significant difference. So it's not going to matter to me more than it matters to somebody like Lewis.
I see it. I've been playing games long enough that I actually do see the difference.
Correct. Like me, look, right now on my computer at home, I'm running dual 980 Ti's in SLI. And to me, that's blowing my mind. And all Lewis can tell me is, you throw a 2080 Ti on your computer and your head's going to pop.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because way back in the day, like I'm talking 10 years ago or so, SLI was a really big deal. Like I'm talking 4-stack GPUs and crazy, like this small form factor thing was kind of sort of coming up back then. But the real deal was like those 4-stack SLI card setups. And actually, let me see if I can try to find a picture online to show you guys just how crazy it was.
One. I got a picture.
Oh, you have a picture? All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Because now you just need one GPU. That's just the reality. Because developers, NVIDIA and
I'll send you
AMD,
a
they're
couple
just like
pictures right
very
now,
meh towards that SLI.
You want me to send them to you?
You can show them on screen on your phone.
Sure.
It's easier. So I would have to, you know, drag and drop and all that stuff.
Yes, I keep pictures of the builds that I've done. So there's
So-
one of them.
Considering how many builds that you do, I used to. Here's a fun fact. Oh man, that looks great.
It's overkill though.
It is overkill, but look,
You see the 3 cards set up?
overkill or not, the setup looks clean. You know what I mean? Like it feels good to look at a good, clean PC.
Of course.
Yep.
Fun fact about myself: I used to work at a little company called MySpace back in the day when that was, and I worked as a systems engineer, and I worked in the data centers where if you were ever on MySpace back in the day and the website crashed, cut to me like in a parka, freezing cold,
Oh no.
taking apart servers and like figuring out what's going wrong. And whenever the big investors like the Fox people, because Fox used to own MySpace,
Yeah.
would come to our data center, we'd have to make sure that the racks of servers looked so clean and crisp and set up. And it was always interesting because we always had to make sure that all of our cabling was done a particular way. And
I like those guys.
I spent hours just redoing Cat 5 cables to make it look perfect.
Oh man,
Man.
I enjoy all that.
Yeah, PJ, I enjoy that too from time to time, just, you know, cable management and stuff. It's relieving just to have everything neat. Because then you see horror stories online of like people are like, I made a PC, and then you look on the on one side it looks like, oh, it looks fine, and then you flip it, and then you're like,
What the hell did you do?
what happened here?
Yeah. Many a time. I mean, I usually build my own PCs. I haven't done it since the end of college, just because I didn't have the energy, because I was building PCs when I was in high school, and to go to to like a Fry's Electronics and figure out what part goes with what, and my motherboard doesn't have this, and I need this kind of RAM, and nowadays it's so much more flexible.
It's
and
really
so much
easy.
more consumer based. Yeah, anyone can build the PC. But before it was, you had to troubleshoot, and you'd have to look at the 300 page manual, and I'm getting this really rare error code that no one else has ever gotten, and there's no forums on there.
It's funny, you get an error code and you go and you contact the manufacturer. They're like, I don't know what that is. I've never seen an error code either.
I've never seen that
If you
before.
fix it,
Why
let
is
us
that
know what you
happening?
did. Hey, you're not wrong. That's how it was, man.
But I do like that it's so easy for people to get into PC game. Actually, speaking of all this PC gaming, so I was reading an article about how people are converting their work computers into gaming PCs. Because, there's been a rise of people working at home. People are realizing, or workers are realizing, that their super powered at home work PC can also double as a gaming PC. So they're like, huh, okay. I think that's really fascinating, because that means we're getting more PC gamers, which is always good, for the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And more interest in PC gaming. So people, those work PCs, they're probably gonna think like, huh, what if I get my own gaming PC now? Or, just keep gaming on their work PC.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm super happy with my build. I'm running a 8700K in mine. And I think that thing will run for years.
No, it's a solid CPU. I know we're giving a lot of love to AMD today, though, because that 3950X is in... I would love to have one, just to have it and like run the benchmark and be like, wow.
So I've been an Intel guy my whole life, and then I built my first AMD rig last year, and I was blown away.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm now both. It's like almost like being Mac.
First,
and
it was like
PC,
a
right?
dead giveaway. Like every
I'm
single time, there was no question. Now you're like, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, especially
actually-
because like in my experience, the Ryzen processor is like perfect for streaming.
Yep.
Like it's such a powerful beast that if I stream anything, like it's just gonna tear everything apart and then some, and I won't need to worry about power. But yeah, man, it's a great time to really be a gamer right now, just because you have so many options across so many platforms, whether it's your phone, whether it's PC. Like the technology is always evolving. Like every year there's something new, something crazy. Like the fact that Elgato game capture cards are now a part of gaming culture, like 6-7 years ago.
Yep.
That wasn't the case, and now everyone's like, oh, it's got to have a 4K card inside. It's got to have liquid cooling. Back in the day when I built a computer with liquid cooling, where like you saw the liquid pump into it from like see-through serum that you had to change out, and it was so scary because if you made one little nick, that thing would just fry everything in your computer.
No, you can ask PJ on how terrified I am of liquid cooling.
I'm
But
always
then
asking Lewis, hey,
PJ
you
is a
wanna build
pro,
one?
so
No.
talking about liquid, he can
I'm not
no
scared.
problem. But for me, it
Yeah,
still
see,
scares me.
That's one thing I learned when I started building here. The more you worry about something in your hand, the more you're concerned that you're gonna break it. You're gonna break it. So
Yeah,
if you're
that's-
not worried about what you have and what you're doing, you stay confident 100% what you're doing, you don't have any problems.
Then what happens if you
Yeah.
break it?
Well, you gotta go into it knowing you're not gonna break anything.
Okay,
Are you worried, Lewis?
I don't have a build to build, so I'm good.
You're gonna break it.
I'm gonna break it. And I didn't break my PC build because the thing is, I was confident with my air cooling, or heatsink, so I was fine.
Yeah.
So
So tell me about this case, guys. So this case is obviously it's designed to helm both the PS4 Pro and the computer.
No.
How? Well, I mean, not designed, but you guys
I
could have
know
made it
our
that
product
way.
team.
we finagled it to do that.
Our
It wasn't
our
designed
product
to do
team
that.
Went through a couple of cases, and they determined that the 280X was the perfect candidate to house everything in it.
Well, you guys convinced me because I have never seen a case like that before, and the fact
You
that
can
it
actually
feels
go
like
to the Corsair website and purchase this
Yep,
case.
it's the Crystal Series 20 or 2. I keep saying 20. 280X.
Crystal Series 280X.
Yeah.
I mean, well, so PJ, were you the one that kind of came up with the internal documents for coming up with how to take apart to add the PS4 to the PC?
To this one?
Or?
No, I
So
did
really-
the original. I did the Big O for last year. The one that had
Oh, okay.
The three
Xbox,
systems.
the PS4, and the Switch all in it. That was the one I did.
Oh, so you did the monster one.
I did the monster. So,
So for
the
how-
sales were so crazy that people were like, "Oh, I want one. I don't care. Money's no object. I'll buy one right now." La 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 la. But the demand, we couldn't build that thing. I mean, it
Yeah.
took so long just to build that one. If people were making orders and we did sell it, they'd probably still be waiting for one right now.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
extremely complex.
So this was the perfect idea, you know. Unfortunately, you
Yeah.
can't have all three of them together, but it's great. You have the option to pick one or the other.
yeah. So
So
for the
I
Switch
think-
one, did you have a Switch built in, or was it like it was dockable? Like, I
took the docking station completely apart, and then I made my own housing for it. And then I mounted it directly
Oh.
into the front of the Switch. Not the Switch. The front of the case. So when you open the access panel,
yeah.
you can just dock the Switch right in the front. But everything,
Ah.
it was all the still original parts from the Switch. I just tore the whole housing apart.
Yeah.
And then I put felt inside of it, so when you would slide it in and out, it wouldn't damage it or scratch it.
Yeah, the screen, because I know that's actually even a problem with the current dock. Sometimes I have a screen protector on mine, so
Yeah. Man, that's so cool.
I know people always. One of the comments we've received with this iteration of the Big O is like, "Where's the Switch version?" And the realistic thing is this: the Switch is such a
Why?
portable system. There's no point in inserting a dock into the
No,
PC
you
itself.
just get your dock and just stick
Just
it right
put it
into
on the
capture-
side.
Buy a capture card and connect it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, as cool as it would be, it's just you're essentially cutting a hole to put a dock in there, and
Doesn't really make 100% sense.
yeah, you're paying a premium for that when you can just slap it on the side and you're good to go.
If you
I
want me
understand
to cut a hole in your computer
to put another hole.
Well, that's the
I'll
thing
put a
though.
hole
People don't want to take that risk though. They'd rather have you guys do it than have them do it
Of
themselves.
course, that's what we're here for, man.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause if
I'm
we
with the
break
team
it,
in the
at
back
least you get
though. It's just-
24/7 support on trying to fix it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Let's see.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna, because as we were talking about the Switch, Gerard, you have an incredibly successful YouTube channel. We haven't talked about it at all. We've just been so focused on the PC.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. The PC's important, man. That's why we're here.
But I will say I've seen a bunch of your videos. Love your content. It's awesome.
I'm so sorry and thank you.
I was actually watching the Bully video. I completed Bully. Not actually, correction. I beat Bully. I didn't complete it. I beat
Yeah.
Bully, and then I watched your video on, it, and I'm like, wow. I will never do that, because you beat the game 2 or 3 times, right?
I did it twice.
Twice.
I did both the definitive edition on the 360 and the port on the PS4.
Yeah.
Because I halfway through I was like, oh crap, there's more content.
Yep.
and I
Yep.
didn't know. And a big thing in my community is if I didn't do the most definitive edition and I missed something, then people are like, why didn't you play this version? And so I was like, I didn't want to have those comments come up. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do both. I'm going to cover both. I'll compare them. And we'll call it a day.
Oh man, because the PC version of Bully, it's kind of messy. There's a little
Yeah.
bug. I had to download mods and do a bunch of finagling to get it to work. And specifically the Christmas levels. There's a part in the game where you had to throw snowballs, and the physics engine would just be thrown out the window and crash the entire game. So I had to figure
Oh
out a
my
way to kind of get past that portion. It was really frustrating because I did the snowball thing like 5 or 6 times. I'm like, I don't want to see this old Santa Claus ever again. But yeah, it's really cool watching your videos, your collaborations as well, across
you.
all these other like cool guys. Jesse Cox being one that we sent. Actually, we sent Jesse a Big O as well when we launched. So
Yeah, it's funny. I saw him open it, and I was like, "Oh, I want a big O." And then, like, fast forward all these months later, I was like, Oh, cool! I'm getting a big O now.
There you go. The circle is complete. One of us. But what do you got next for your channel?
Oh,
If you want to
man.
give out a little bit of secrets, if not, I know you want to try to keep it close to your chest. But what do you got next?
Well, I just released a video about an hour ago on Braid because I never played Braid before, the Jonathan Blow indie
Yep.
classic. So you can watch that right now. And I mean, usually I have like a star-studded lineup of games. But this week I am doing a little sneak preview video of a Ubisoft title that's going to be talked about on Sunday after the press that they're doing. So on Sunday I'll be doing a little behind the scenes sneak peek video on a game that is already announced, people know about, but I got a little more hands-on access to it. So that's a fun thing. And then the big game that I've been working on is Last of Us 2, which is the one that everyone
Yeah.
has obviously been talking about for quite some time. And honestly, when it comes to The Last of Us 2, I try, everyone's had so many hot takes and so many opinions and so many, it's a lot of good, a lot of bad. So I tried really hard that once I started playing the game, just to like really turn off everything out there, just really ignore it all and just sit there and take it in for what it is.
I like
And,
that approach.
yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate enough in my career to play games in advance with advanced copies from other game companies, and it's so wonderful to sit there and have completely fresh eyes, just sit there and really enjoy a blind experience with no guide and no impressions. But it's definitely difficult to feel like, oh, dude, this game is so great, and then the reviews come out and everyone shits on it. Pardon my language. Everyone, craps all over it, and it becomes a bad time, And so I just over the years I've just learned, turn everything off. Just when the game comes in, play the game. Don't read Twitter. Don't read reviews. Just take it for what it is. And you'll be surprised how much more you'll enjoy a game if you think you're going to like it from the beginning. If the game looks cool, great. Don't look at trailers anymore. Don't look at press events. Don't look at anything like that, because the minute you do, it's just going to make you feel bad.
It's gonna rain on your parade.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, some previews or playing game before it comes out is always nice too. Like I played Doom Eternal at QuakeCon last year. Oh my gosh. I could not wait for the games that come out in November.
I had to stop looking at trailers.
And then it got delayed to March. And then I completely stopped looking at anything because I'm like, I know how the game plays. I'm good. I just need it in my hands. And
yeah, right.
Doom Eternal came out, beat it in the weekend, and then I beat it again. And I'm working on Ultra Nightmare now. So.
Dude. And I'm probably gonna do that next year.
So all right, we got a little sneak peek of what's coming up, which is cool. Braid video on YouTube, go check it out. I like Braid. Braid was an interesting experience. I didn't 100% it though. Some of the achievements were kind of like, I don't know.
There's one of the collectibles where you have to wait. I think it's like 2 hours for it to show up. Yeah, you just like load the level and then you wait, and then eventually it shows up. It's like a super secret thing in there. Just weird stuff like that for sure.
Although I like the twist ending at the end though. It's like, I don't want to talk about spoiler. I mean, it's a kind of an old game, but the twist ending was really interesting. So
yeah, I mean, Jonathan Blow is definitely, he really makes high concept stuff, but it's very intriguing. It's that curiosity that keep people guessing, and The Witness was like a crazy puzzle game that I think none of us really saw coming, but yeah, it's Jonathan Blow. That's his style. That's his style to just kind of let things out there as he presents it, and I dig it. I'm excited. So I hope you guys like my video on it. And if you don't want to play the game, you can watch my video. That's kind of the hope for my videos.
There you go.
You watch it because you don't want to play it. I'll play it for you.
There, it's all you need to know, fam. The chats. I mean, a lot of them probably already know. But actually, it's also a good chance to probably pick up the game because the Steam sale ends tomorrow, the massive summer sale. So I already picked up the games I wanted. There's a couple of VR titles.
I didn't even realize. I'm so out of the loop. I didn't even know the Steam sale is happening right now.
Yeah, you have about less than 24 hours. It ends tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. So
I'll have to take a look. I
Last
pretty much
call.
own all the. I pretty much own all the games that I want, you know. So I'm not.
Same.
I'm not sitting there trying to wait for the. I only buy collection editions of games upon release too. So, you know, I have like every Last of Us collection edition available. I have the Ghost of Tsushima pre-ordered. So. Yo, so where is the Elgato card?
it's on the other side. So it's on the PlayStation side of the system. Actually, Pete's
Interesting.
going to show it to you right there.
Gotcha.
It's right there. See it? Look.
Ooh, okay, cool. And so when I want to change the input or
It means the gato.
the gato, so the PS4 feeds into that, or
Correct.
how?
The
There's no
PlayStation's already
Gotcha.
connected to that.
What happens is that
Nice.
PJ, your mic's muted.
Sorry. Sorry about that. I turned it off when I used the drill because it gets loud. So the capture card is connected to this riser cable right here. Let me see if we can move in right here.
I see. Okay.
So the riser cable is then fed through the other side and then connected right there to the bottom half.
I see. Okay, cool.
So this is where your capture card feed comes from. This is your SSD for the PS4.
Oh.
So
The
it connects
motherboard
here,
powers that.
and then it feeds into the back, which over here on this side, like on the bottom over
Yeah.
here behind this, is where you would actually, for the motherboard, you would have the actual regular hard drive. But we ran an extension cable, and we feed it right over here. Whoop.
Gotcha.
Right
So if I want to plug in the PS4 to a monitor, that's the HDMI port in the back of the computer.
Correct.
Right here.
Yeah.
Everything in here is
Right.
for the PS4.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So oh, yeah, exactly. All the connections you would have on the back of your PS4 are right here.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That's so cool. That's so rad.
Just going to answer a couple questions on the chat here. What happens to the Elgato card? Something happens to it. We can replace it. It's not a problem.
take
It's
it
pretty
out.
easy to take it out, remove it, replace it. And then if you can reach the capture card, if you need to capture something else, there's no problem. From my understanding, you can just remove the side panel and plug it in if you have to.
Oh, and repurpose it for something else?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you could just unplug it from here and then plug something else in it if you
Yeah.
like. It'll still work.
So.
That's cool.
And then Airbrusher is also asking if you can make the Big O into 2 PC streamer. No, I know we've gotten that question before. The Big O's mainly designed around that console. We used to we did some special builds a long time ago for a streaming PC and a gaming PC on one side.
You can find them on YouTube.
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
It was actual dual VR gaming desktop.
Yeah, we also had the streaming one too. We had the
Yeah.
VR one, and then we had a streaming one too.
We also did a giveaway for Mountain Dew.
Oh man, that Mountain Dew system brings back memories. All I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, sure does.
Well, the panel has to stay open. Unfortunately, if you do do that,
Oh yeah, if you have it that way and you want
Yeah.
to set it up to utilize for something else, yeah.
yeah,
of course,
it's designed primarily to function with the PlayStation. But if you want to have it open, you can do that as well. No problems.
Honestly,
no problems.
for me, I already use so many Elgato captures with my PS4, so like this specifically works perfectly for me. It eliminates a headache, if anything. So
Let's say for the PS4 streamer and PC gamer, this is the perfect setup.
Yep.
This is a one-stop shop for everything.
yeah, which is
And
like
it cleans up all
yeah.
the clutter on your desk too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I think on my desk right now, I'm looking at three Elgatos hooked up to everything right now.
Wow.
Whoa.
I have one PC that I use to play games, one PC that I had to stream, and then the PC that's used to play games also has an Elgato hooked up to it, so I can also record gameplay footage away from the stream. So that way, like when I'm streaming online, people can see my overlays and all that stuff, but also the gameplay just gets cleanly put onto my hard drive separately. Which is why when you guys were like, "Hey, what do you want on your PC?" I was like, "Surprise me!" But the one thing I really wanted was storage space because I'm going to
Yeah.
be storing a ton of gameplay from the PS4 as well as anything else I hook up to it. So I'm really going to use that as the components of this thing.
2 terabyte good enough for you?
Yeah, 2 terabyte SSD too.
More than enough.
Yeah. The OS drive
More
is
than enough.
500 gigabytes, which is
Yeah.
still really, really good. So it's like 2.5 terabyte storage.
Yeah.
So
11 gigs, 28 Ti. That thing is crazy.
Yeah, 2080 Ti. I'm
Sound a
waiting.
little excited there.
It's a great graphics card. I can't blame him. When I got my hands on the
Sorry.
2080, I was like, oh.
Sorry, headphone users for the screen.
How we looking so far? Wish I can get that light closer. How about if I did this?
There you go. You can see the Dominator, the cooling unit, the NVMe. PJ, can you point out the two NVMEs?
Sure. So, this is your 500 gig. That's your OS drive.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 terabyte is actually behind this shield.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So your secondary one is right above this.
Wow.
Yeah, motherboard manufacturers create SSD shields. It's mainly for heat dissipation. Some people use it, some people don't, but we like to use it if it came included with it. So.
And then the piece de resistance.
There, it's just hanging back there too. By the way, I'm not sure if anyone else noticed, but like my head's been covering it up. It's the behemoth.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Ready?
Oh no, you're making it dance now.
Hey, the 28 can die. Could die.
Katai.
28 Ti could dance all at once.
So with the card like this, is there really a necessary need to have 2 GPUs?
No.
Or is that just
No.
Yeah, right? Like it's just overkill.
No, like we were talking about earlier, like it was a thing in the past. Now, one is enough.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of games that benefit from a dual GPU setup.
Even then, you're not like seeing a huge difference if you get a second card.
PJ,
Yeah,
you
I
mean
had
Gosh, I'm sorry. I said even then, if you get a secondary card, you're not gonna even see that huge of a difference, you know, from the games you're trying to play. Like if you just get one good card, you're perfect.
So I'm just like a quick curiosity. Skyrim supports it, PUBG, Witcher 3, Dark Souls 3, Titanfall, Metal Gear Solid 5, Fallout 4. I mean, it's only a handful that really like stand out to me at least. So, but again, the performance boost for the price that you're paying for those 2 GPUs, it's only a handful of frames. I mean, granted, some people are totally down to pay for that extra bonus, but the majority, I think one card is more than enough. So,
PJ, on average, how many builds do you do a week?
I don't work in manufacturing anymore, but it depends on the workload that we have because I do a lot more special projects now in the marketing department. So it's not based on how many builds are done. It's more based on this, you know, the level of the project that we're doing at that moment. Because some of them can be knocked out pretty quick. Others gonna take a serious amount of time to do. I mean, I got familiar with the Big O's, so putting this together wasn't that hard. But it was the time consumption was a little longer than actually we could do here at the live build. So that's why I put it together, half, you know, so we can at least see half of it done and then do the other half.
yeah.
Gotcha.
But if I can, depending on the build, if it's a minor system, I could probably have the build done maybe less than an hour, a little over an hour.
How many builds? I mean, I don't need to know Origin's PC numbers or anything, but how, as a company, like, you guys probably work on so many computers. Like, that's got to be a fascinating nightmare of, like, assembly lining and things like that. Like, that's just so impressive to think about.
I think that's an understatement.
It can be a little difficult because out in the manufacturing line, if you have certain computer companies, they have 3 models. Then you have A, B, and C. So some manufacturing lines are going to be, you're going to build A, B, and C for these companies. But here at Origin, since every system is customized, the assembler has no idea what they're going to get when it comes down the assembly line. So it could be the easiest system in the world, and when they knock that one out, they might have a full stage 3 cryo to build next.
Oh my god.
And every build is completely different.
Yep.
So maybe it's a stage 3 cryo, and he could be, all right, cool, I can knock this one about in a few hours, and then they knock that one out. They do another cryo, but it's an inverted 90. So now they have to take the entire case apart and reset it up for an inverted 90-degree setup and build that. Each build, depending on what you're doing, is going to take a certain amount of time. So I know that manufacturing, they just give these guys more or less like an essential amount of time to knock these things out. But I know that they have to meet this. I know they have to meet a certain goal every day.
And it's not just building them too; it's you also test them,
Yes.
and that adds more time.
Yep.
Wow. That's intense.
It is. It is. It's very fast-paced in manufacturing. But I can honestly tell you, working back there, it was a hell of an experience. I really enjoyed working back there with those guys. I learned a lot.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Wow, that guy goes in here.
I'm looking at the PC, and I think I'm gonna say we're close to being finished, if I'm correct.
Yeah, but we're not done.
All right, because PJ's gonna do a little extra stuff too on stream.
extra stuff.
So
Just on
A little
stream.
extra stuff.
yep.
Just a little extra stuff. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, Lewis, are we done?
Almost.
What do you think? Does that look like a fully built PC to you?
That looks clean.
That's my job, my friend. I'm a completionist.
I love to hear it, dude. I'd love to see it.
Just like you know. You beat every game clean way. I build every PC the same way.
Yeah, man.
Of course, you got the PlayStation 4 side as well. Not many people can say they have a PlayStation 4 inside their PC.
Not many.
That's true.
So-
Not many.
Okay. So this is my fun part. Look at this. Oh, what am I doing here? Weird. Am I pulling a keyboard out for any weird and unusual reason? I don't think so. Oh, wow. Look at this. Cool Origin PC mouse. Alright.
Ooh.
The system is done. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to power it on.
So he's actually gonna show us the Big O turned on and functioning.
So,
Oh man.
We normally don't do this on stream.
but for you,
So we're getting a little extra special today.
absolutely. I thought it'd be a really cool idea to actually power the sucker on because people
Yeah.
want to see it turned on, right? Nobody just wants to see, hey, look, it's there. Anybody could show you something shoved in a box. Show me it works.
Yeah, this is actually gonna be pretty cool because people are actually gonna see, you know, a PlayStation 4 running at the same time as a PC. So PJ's gonna wire it up right now.
What's the what's the whole issue of like in terms of sound pollution? Like, are you talking about like when the PS4 is going with the PC? Is it pretty quiet or is it like?
Oh, yeah.
Because my PS4, I mean, I have an older model, obviously, so it definitely sounds like a plane taking off.
Yes. Because the fans on that thing are super loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have it connected to the actual H60 cooler. So you're running a Corsair fan on it. And then the actual Noctua fan that we put in the back, that's an ultra silent fan. So they'll blow super fast, you won't even hear it. Especially if you have the
Gotcha.
PC off and you're only playing the PS4, you won't even hear a sound out of it.
Wow.
That's the other cool thing about it. What am I looking for?
Oh, that was the other question I had. So I can play the PS4 without the necessity of having the PC on if I didn't want to.
Correct. You don't have to PC on at all.
Interesting. Well, because the Elgato tends to need a pass-through for the
Well,
devices.
to
but
use
I
the capture
guess-
card, yes.
Yeah.
You need to have a PC powered on. But if you just
But the-
want to turn the PS4 on and start playing, you don't need the PC on at all.
So it just passes through the Elgato natively to the monitor, no problem.
Correct.
Gotcha. Cool. It's probably because it's the internal model. Because
Well,
that doesn't.
the reason being is because over here on the back side, over here, I have mounted a little switch box. So what it does is you have the PS4 going into the switch box. And then from the switch box, I ran two more. I have the external over here, and then I have the other one feeding to the capture card.
Oh, I get it. So the output to the back of the PC is not going to the monitor.
Correct.
It's that's how
So you
do
can
it.
always
Okay,
plug
cool.
this in to your TV.
Yeah,
without a problem.
okay.
And then you can actually have a secondary monitor with your PC running, with the capture card on it, running the PlayStation on there as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's awesome.
Okay.
That's so sick. That you doing that, like that's something that I would try and figure out too. Like if I were doing this, I'd be like, all right, I'm making a switcher. Like that's so.
Dude,
that's so
you have
brilliant.
no
I love that.
idea the hair I had that I ripped out of my head building the original one. Lewis can tell you.
Yeah.
You heard a lot of explanatory words.
Yeah, that's a
Being
nice
yelled
way of
out of
putting
the
it.
office for months.
They mentioned the price on the rig. Actually, I can spec it out really quickly here
Sure.
to give you an estimation. My guess, just because we're using the 3950X and the 2080 Ti and the PlayStation 4 Pro and the capture card, probably close to 4,500, between 4,500 and 5,500. My estimation.
Wow.
But we're gonna spec it out now. Give me a second. While PJ's getting everything set up, I'll go and spec it out. Actually, I can show you guys how I do
I
it.
don't have is an Ethernet connection. Sorry, guys.
Give me a second. We're gonna do a quick jump to the website so I can show you how to spec out a similar one on our site. All right, so here's our site. Just in case you missed it, we just updated our summer promotion. If you get an AMD Ryzen, a select AMD Ryzen CPU, you can actually get a copy of Assassin's Creed Valhalla coming out later this year. But we're gonna customize a Big O. So we're gonna go over here, Big O, and configure. We're gonna try to match it. So we got the white Corsair Crystal Series 280X. Choose your console. We're going with the PlayStation 4 Pro. The Elgato 4K 60 Mark II Pro on that. Again, it's not gonna be one for one, but we're gonna try to get as close as possible. We went with a Cuvo drive, right, PJ?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna add this one. CPU 3950X. There you are. All right, we're getting close to my number that I predicted. As you see on the right side, the number's updating as I'm continuing. Corsair Dominator 32 gigs, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That didn't update. Oh, it's incompatible. But why? Why must you do this to me? All right. 240. That's that one. Graphics card. Now this is where the price will go up. All right. 47. Operating system drive. We went with 500. Samsung. And then storage drive. We went with 2 terabyte. Well, I was close. Power supply, yep, that's it. So similar system, not quite one-to-one, but very close, comes out to around $5,356.
Wow.
There you go. Hopefully that answers your question. But again, this is a super specialized system that also includes a PlayStation 4 Pro. If you just want a PC without a console, we won't stop you. Because trust, I mean, I know people always are, oh, isn't it cheaper if you go separately? Yes, it is. That's technically common sense. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about manual labor and figuring out how to safely house the console compared to the PC. Like, of course, it's going to be cheaper just to go ahead and buy them separately.
Yep. So there you go. Hopefully that answers that. We got the system on. PJ, if you want to adjust the camera so people can see what's on screen.
When you get a good view, because unfortunately I have it disconnected on mine and I have no visual of what you're seeing. So is that good right there? Or should I get
Move it up a little bit. And angle it up. A little bit more. There you go. All right, so we're just waiting on PJ to get the system up and running. If I'm not mistaken, Windows is already on it, right?
Maybe I did a couple things. Maybe I put a wallpaper on it that says the Completionist.
Hey, look at that.
Maybe I did.
Hey, that's me.
All right. So
Yeah, so Skullhead, one of the fans doesn't spin because it only is on when the PS4 is on.
Correct.
Yeah, actually, PJ can demonstrate that now. So that one fan down there is not going to be spinning because the PlayStation 4 is not on. What happens when you turn on the PlayStation 4?
Yeah. Oh, when I turn on the PlayStation 4? Hold on.
Ooh, man.
So so he can hear that signature beep,
Ah.
and there's a fan.
It's not movie magic. It actually did turn on the fan by turning it on. So the PlayStation 4 is currently on. And you get the little glow right there for the CPU cooler.
So let's confirm that the PlayStation is actually running.
All right.
So let's come back up over here. Lewis, is that good right there?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So we'll come over here. We'll go to Elgato. Wherever. I think it's under 4K, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Capture software.
Game Capture HD.
Yeah.
There it is. Game Capture HD. One moment, please.
So this is one of the cool features of the fact that you can have your PC on and play console games on your PC.
Welcome
crazy.
back to PlayStation.
So, all right, now you can use your controller, PJ.
Oh, that's how it works?
Yeah.
I knew that. See, so look, you know, like you hit the button now and look, it does stuff. Oh,
Wow,
man.
magic.
There's your PS4, dude.
Dude,
I don't want to go
that's-
through it and start setting things up because I already have it formatted under the SSD. So I'll leave that up to you. But what we usually do is I'll put a game on it, we'll run it and stress it, make sure everything doesn't overheat. If anything is good, then we format it again and we leave it
Yeah.
empty. Just so when we do our QA work, we have it run under the capture card so we know it works.
Mhm. Wow.
So as you can see, look, there's your capture card right there. How many PlayStations do you know you can move the screen like that?
I mean, you can full screen it.
Oh yeah, I can
So-
full screen it. There you go.
There you go.
Wow, that's so cool.
Oh, what key is it for full screen?
F10.
F10?
Or actually, you might have to check the settings on that one. It's different for different applications.
I knew that.
F11? No.
Ah, there it is.
There you
It
go.
is F11. Oh, there you go.
Wow, it's so cool, man.
It's a question for PJ. There's no big delay with the capture card, right?
No, not that I know of. Here, Mr. Lewis, you tell me.
Oh, look at me. I'm playing through the stream now because I have a PlayStation 4 controller now in my hands. Let's see.
Do you feel any delay?
If I played Doom, I could tell you. Just kidding. It's honestly not noticeable for me at least. But I feel like a true test would be like a fast-paced game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good enough that you can play, you know.
I mean, the lag, if the lag comes in, it's because of the Elgato and not because of the
Yeah.
PS4 inside the computer. So I
Correct.
can easily just like.
You could switch it if you wanted. If you have two HDMI ports to one monitor, you can easily switch it over directly to the PS4. You got zero lag
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and keep playing on your stream with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Swift, I believe we answered that question during the stream, and someone actually Mass Effect answered your question there. Another
super
question:
stoked,
if
man.
you
This
clone
is
drivers and
awesome.
use them
I'm
in a
so
different
happy I
system with
did
different
this.
specs, does it
Look at
mess
that.
up the drivers? Not really. If you clone it exact like 1-to-1, it shouldn't be problematic. It should be working. But it's always good to just check the drivers. Better. PS4 does not have a disk drive. This is digital only.
Yeah, it will
Yeah,
say
honestly-
unrecognizable disc though.
I feel like that'd be such a. You'd have to ask for a bigger price point too to like have to figure out how to get the disk drive in there and.
We'd
So,
have to
like,
probably
promote-
use an entirely different case. I thought
Yeah.
about it, and if we did, it'd probably have to be one that you would actually have to fabricate a spot where you would put one where the optical drive would have to go,
Yeah.
like a 3.5 slot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that, it
3.5
doesn't make
You know
sense
what
at that point. I mean, considering the PS5 too is they're doing a digital edition only.
That
like,
is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't be
but
weirded
that's-
out by that.
yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be a. I mean, look, if you have a PC that has a CD drive in it, I would be so impressed. Like,
We sell them.
I-
Not many people go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
we still
I
sell them,
love-
but it's not many people that jump on them.
yeah, like I love CDs, right? Like, but nowadays everything is digital, and it just seems counterintuitive to like have a CD drive when you don't own any CDs.
Lewis, you still good right there?
Yep, that's good.
All right.
That's a good showcase of
Put the
the
final
Big O in
piece.
action. I saw you went
The
with
final
like
piece that he had no idea we were gonna throw on.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen this yet either, so we're all in for a surprise
Can you
now.
see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh.
Yo! Yo! That's my logo!
That's gonna go on right there.
Hey, that's so sick! Oh, man.
Hey, dude, is that sick or is that sick?
So that's an HD UV panel
Sick!
that we added a little flare to it.
Just a little.
A little bit.
Little flare.
Oh,
So
that's so freaking rad, man.
glad you enjoy it. PJ, you're gonna put it on the stream or after?
I'm putting it on right now.
Okay.
I want to make the man happy.
I mean, you guys have already made me happy. This has been such a fun stream. This is so exciting.
Happy to hear that, man.
Yeah, definitely glad to hear that. People asking.
So, how often do you guys do live builds like this?
Every so often, we went on a break, like a pretty decent break. So a lot of stuff's been up in the air currently over here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this is the first stream in a while now. But it's usually like if something's on the pipeline, we try to schedule them out and just keep them up and running. Actually, what we haven't done is a gameplay stream, because usually we do gameplay streams. We have a gaming PC next to the streaming PC, because we have a PC setup here. We have a streaming PC and then a gaming PC, so we haven't played anything lately. I think our next game stream might be Death Stranding on PC. I think so.
Oh,
So we'll
You're
see.
finally gonna play it?
I own it on PlayStation,
Ah.
but I'm probably going to finish the game on PC most likely, because honestly, I got to chapter 3 and I'm like, I need to play something fast.
I went to PAX with the marketing director and Kevin, the CEO, and we were walking around. We got there early in the morning, the last day, and they were giving these little, like, displays, like these little, like, just showed like the scenes from Death Stranding. And I swear I sat there after they did the whole thing. I looked at Daniela and I was like, I have no idea what the hell I just watched. I know everything looks super awesome, but what the hell was that? I know that's Daryl. I knew that for sure. He's got a baby in a tube and a big thing in his stomach. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
So PJ, did you just like did you choose the kind of lights for the RGB stuff or the lighting?
I did.
Or
You have the option to set them up however you want.
I mean, you chose my color scheme, so that's
Oh,
why
okay.
I'm
So
like,
yeah, because Omar, the gentleman who does all of our photo editing and all the photography for the work you see, if you've seen
Yeah.
any of the stuff that we got on our website, all the photography is done by him. So
Oh, nice.
whenever I get my wallpaper set up, before I start doing the builds, I always ask him, like, do something up for me. So he's the one who set up the wallpaper.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
So when he did that, I already knew what color scheme to set up on the system.
Oh, cool. Yeah, man, it looks so sick. It's so cool. I can't wait.
There you go. Last part. Peel the plastic off.
Yeah, there you go. And actually, with IQ, you can also set up profiles as well. So if like you
Yep.
boot up a game, actually certain games, the upcoming Ubisoft Battle Royale game does support IQ, so it actually has a custom profile that it initiates and takes over your system and creates effects when the game's running.
Oh wow, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's crazy,
Division
right?
2 also has a Far Cry New Dawn, and a couple of other games also support that feature. But if your game doesn't support it, I know there's a couple of Doom profiles, a couple of Skyrim profiles. Again, they don't interact with the game. It's just more of like adding extra flair to the PC if you care about that stuff. I have a Doom 1 on my PC. So,
That's it. It's all done, my
and
friend.
that's the system.
Well, I mean, you really don't want to close that side up. It is cool just to know you got this thing on here. But I guess I'll close it up.
Yeah, there's a PlayStation there. It's okay. Yeah, because
Oh,
normally
on that side, it's no big deal.
this case, if you're using it for a PC case, that side's just more for cable management.
Yeah.
That's what you utilize it for.
But for the big O case, we've designed it in such a way that, put a console in there, no biggie. Xbox, PlayStation, no problem.
Dang, man. That looks so slick. PJ, thank you for your time, dude.
No, anytime, man. Nice to meet you. Nice to talk
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, you too. This was such oh man, whew. I got chills looking at this thing. I'm ready. I'm so ready to play this
It's
thing.
ready for you.
Cool. Wow. I'm speechless. I don't know. It's funny. I've been doing this for so long, the YouTube side of stuff, that like to see something like this come to fruition is just such a cool thing. And I want to say thank you to Origin for even thinking about partnering with me, and to all my fans who just like keep believing what I'm doing and keep supporting, man, because it's just dreams keep coming true for me, and I'm so honored and lucky to be here to be doing this. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
You're very
thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you for being a part of our team.
Absolutely.
And keep completing games.
yeah. Live up to the
That's
name,
all I
dude.
do, so I got this.
Let me ask you a question. When you go on and you play these games for everybody to play, do you put them at the hardest settings?
Always.
Always.
Always. Yeah, because the reality is, especially the most fascinating thing about playing new games, especially the way that I do them, is that sometimes we get to territories, me and the team, where it's like, we'll look it up, like, oh, has anyone ever beaten this on the hardest setting? And it's like, oh, no one's ever done it. So it's like, does that mean that there is something to get when you do it? And 9 to 10 times, no, there isn't. But in most cases, like, we sometimes will find, in some of our bigger games, we'll find, like, oh, there's an Easter egg that no one knew about. And now we know about it because we uncharted those waters together. You know, I did a Cool Spot back in the day. And when you beat the game on the hardest setting, they tell you to take a photo of the end screen, and you're supposed to mail it in to 7-Up, and they're supposed to give you a drink or something like that.
That's amazing.
And at the time, like, there wasn't much information on that, and so, like, we kind of figured that out and was like, that's such a weird promotional thing to do. So it's fun to kind of go down those uncharted territories of not knowing, you know, what's the end of the rainbow, if you will.
Someone mentions it's too early to talk about Cool Spot.
I just recently replayed it again, so it's like, yeah.
The last game that I actually sat down to get really serious with a buddy of mine to play, and I know it was a while ago, hear me out, was Dante's Inferno.
Love Dante's Inferno. That game was
So
fun.
my good friend of mine, sat at my house the day I got that game, and I let him just go to town on it. And he wanted to bang his head against the wall because he realized at the end, at the last boss, you had to have a certain setup in order to beat him. And he went a different route. So he couldn't beat the guy. He sat there for at least a week straight going at the guy, trying
my
everything.
goodness.
Couldn't beat him. He's like, the hell with this game. Just shut it through the controller.
Yeah, man, the rage is real. It
Oh, yeah.
definitely games. There's very many games where I've realized this was a mistake. Like, playing this game was a mistake.
But you
Actually-
can't help yourself. You just keep going at it no matter what.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the spirit of my show, right? It's like it's just me punching the brick wall till it starts to crack, and then eventually
So,
it all comes down.
Do you take challenges for any particular games?
When you say challenges, you mean to complete, or like a challenge within the game, like
A
beating it
challenge
with, like...
for you to play a game. I found a very simple game. It's on, I think you can actually get it for the PC and you can get it for Xbox Live if you have Xbox. I even think it's for PS4. It's called Lonely Mountain Downhill. It's just a simple downhill biking game.
Dude, I know the guys who made that game.
That game is freaking insane.
Yeah, it's fun as hell.
Yes, I couldn't stop playing it. I downloaded it last week on my vacation. I have so many other games on my PC. I was like, let me see what this is about. Found myself playing for 2 days straight nonstop.
Yeah, when I was at PAX, I was out there booth promoting the game.
Oh wow!
Fun facts.
I know the devs. It's a great time.
It's so much fun, dude. So much
Yeah.
fun. It reminds me of like this is like a cracked out version of Crossy Roads.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for having me. Is there
Absolutely.
anything else I can do before we move on?
I guess where can people find you? Just
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people I think already know, but just for the others watching on the other platforms, by all means.
Yeah, you can follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/thatonevideogamer. I have my weekly web show, The Completionist. I do 2 videos a week, so I complete roughly 6 games a month, which is a lot. But a lot of it's from my old backlog too of games I'm remaking videos on from an old thing. So that's what I usually do for my mainstay. I stream a ton on Twitch, at least 4 to 6 times a week, especially during the pandemic. And my audience there is really cool and supportive. You know, that's where most of my audience is going to see this glorious PC in all of its awesomeness in action. And at the very least, you can follow me on social media. I'm at Completionist now on Twitter. I finally got that.
Yeah, congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. I've had at Completionist for like 6-7 months, but I I didn't have any contacts at Twitter, and I finally got the right one. And so now I'm like, all right, cool. Can I do this? And they were like, oh yeah, no problem. So it was easy. And then you can follow me on Instagram. I think I'm at the Completionist on Instagram, and Facebook is the Completionist. And really anywhere. I mean, if you search my name, I have a really weird name, Gerard Khalil. It's pretty unique. So if you search me, you'll find me all over the internet.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna do a wrap up on our end, just talk about the specs one more time. But we're gonna let you go because I know you got a busy day ahead and busy week in general.
Yeah.
So, we'll let you go. We'll
Awesome.
keep you posted on the PC on our end, behind the scenes, and emails and all that stuff. But again, thank you so much for being with us on the stream.
Yeah, thank you guys. PJ, it was great meeting you. It was great meeting you.
Great
We'll
meeting
see you
you
guys
too.
soon.
If you have any
Awesome.
questions, feel free to email me if you have any questions pertaining to the system itself once you receive it too. So I can help
Awesome.
you out with
I'll be sure. I'll be sure to bug you when I can.
No problem. That's what I'm here for, man.
Awesome. All right, guys, take it easy.
All right,
You
you
too.
too, man. And we're out. Ah, man, that was so cool. TJ, what are you doing?
Nothing. I'll just bob my head like.
Again, special thanks to Gerard Completionist for being with us on stream. We're going to go over the specs one more time for you guys, and also going to go over some stuff on our end in case you missed it.
Oh.
So,
Never on Lewis's side.
so these are the specs of the PC PJ just finished putting together. So it is a big O desktop. The case that we use is the Corsair Crystal Series 280X. I was about to say 20, but I corrected myself in the in my mind. I'm like, don't say.
Much slower this time.
I know I did. So you noticed that, right? So
80X.
yeah, I did. Because the thing is, if I do it really fast, I'll say 2080. I'm like, no, it's not the 2080. So used to saying 2080. The power supply is a Corsair SF75080 Plus Platinum power supply. It's a small one. The ASRock X550M Pro 4 motherboard. The Origin PC Frostbite 240 all-in-one liquid cooler. And then again, that is for the PC side. For the PS4 side, we're using the Corsair H80.
Excuse me?
The CPU cooler.
Corsair H60.
H60. What else? For the fans, Corsair LLIQ RGB fans. The CPU, again, the coup de grace of this system is the AMD Ryzen 9 3950X, coming in at 3.5 gigahertz with 16 cores and 4.7 max turbo. Ignore the 5. 11 gigabyte NVIDIA GeForce RTX 20 Ti, of course, top of the top GPU available right now on the market. For the RAM, 32 gigabytes of 32 megahertz DDR4 Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB, 2 sticks. For the OS drive, we went with a 500 gigabyte Samsung 970 EVO Plus NVMe M.2 SSD. And then for storage, a 2 terabyte Samsung 970 EVO Plus NVMe M.2 SSD. And of course, the other side of the system includes a PlayStation 4 Pro. And for the PlayStation 4 Pro, we upgraded it from its hard drive to an SSD, so a 1 terabyte Samsung 860 QVO SSD. The capture card is an Elgato 4K 60. It's not the Mark II. Of course, it will be shipped with Origin Wooden Crate armor, warranty plus lifetime 24/7 US-based support, lifetime free labor, and of course, Windows 10. Thank you, Microsoft. Thank you, AMD. People are talking about the price. The estimation, or the estimated close to around price is close to $5,300. So, again, that's not quite one-to-one because there are differences between the customization on the Origin PC website. But that is how much it'll come out to if you customize it as close as humanly possible to the specs you guys just saw on stream. So, and again, it's a very custom system. Like, by all means, I won't stop you if you plan on putting a console inside your PC. If you do intend on doing that. But yeah, of course you get the support, and our support team quickly learned how the Big O functions. So they're pretty well versed. What else do we got? I guess we can go over, what's going on with the Origin PC real quick. Give me a second here, and then we're almost done. We were talking about earlier, AMD Ryzen 3000 XT processors are now available. You can add it to our desktops. So now there's even more processors to choose from on the AMD side. Our July promo is underway. It's, of course, summer savings. Let's go take a look at that real quick. You can see Assassin's Creed's featured on here because guess what? If you customize your Origin PC Eon 15X or desktop with a select AMD Ryzen processor, you get a copy of Assassin's Creed Valhalla when it releases later this year. It's pretty cool. Of course, you get discounts on select laptops, $200 off here for the Evo 16S, $100 off the Eon 15X, free US ground shipping. And if you get an AMD powered desktop, AMD Ryzen powered desktop, you get a $50 Visa reward card, free US ground shipping, and of course, as I mentioned before, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So that's it on that front. If you check our social media channels, you'll see that we have a ton of giveaways underway. Too many to list, to be honest. But yeah, just check our social channels and you guys will be up to date on our giveaways. We have a Neverwinter giveaway. We have multiple AMD giveaways, AMD-based system giveaways. So this Origin Cell non-Ryzen-based AMD systems. So Threadripper?
Yeah.
I think that could be a trick question, but almost every AMD CPU is, Ryzen. It's a thing. So, water cooler. I think we covered that. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a quick 5 minutes for questions. I don't really have a chance to answer too many questions from you guys. Me or PJ. PJ's here. So, yeah. See, he's on this side of the camera now. So, by all means, shoot them over. We're going to close up the stream at 3 minutes. We'll give 3 minutes. So, I'll wrap it up. Ryzen based Epics or Threadripper. Yeah, we have Threadrippers. Epics, I think we have on the Pro side. Let me confirm that really quick. We don't sell the Epic CPUs on the gaming side. I'm going to check that. I think with the R class, which is our server rack mount, we don't have it. Never mind. Give me a second here. On the L class, do we have those? I think we have Threadripper only. Yeah, we only have Threadripper. Yeah, Threadripper and Ryzen. Is that top fan spinning or synced to the camera? So the top fan is spinning. The bottom one is not spinning because the PlayStation 4 is off.
Turn PlayStation on?
Nah, you don't have to.
You hear the beep?
Nah.
Of course you want to hear the beep.
I don't want to hear
Everybody
the
wants to hear the beep.
I hear the beep.
Listen to the beep. Ah. There's your fan.
So when the PlayStation 4 is turned on, the bottom fan is turned on. Or to turn on the PlayStation 4, the reset button.
The IQ.
We've wired the reset button to be the power button for the
Correct.
PlayStation. I thought that was my PlayStation 4 for a second. Giveaway half free ship? Yeah, if you win a system, shipping's covered. But again, you have to be in the select U.S. and select territories to be qualified for that. Wait, that's a PlayStation 4? It's a PC and a PlayStation 4 inside one box. Ooh. All right, you guys got 2 minutes for questions.
2 minutes. Dos minutos.
The Heat reference there.
There's a Heat reference.
Yeah.
I actually saw a Heat player today.
Oh.
I did. I saw Mr. Leonard.
Oh, he came by?
No, he didn't come by.
Oh.
He was actually leaving to Orlando.
Because they're getting on bus for
they're doing
the
playoffs over there.
bubbles, yeah.
So he contacted saying that he accidentally crushed the top of his crate because he's taking his computer with him to Orlando.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so.
So we grabbed the crate and we took it over to him so he can have the system ready to go and take it with him. He wasn't lying. Remember when we did that live build, he said wherever he goes, he's taking it with him.
Well, he
when
really
I got
wasn't
there,
lying.
he legit had it inside the crate.
Oh.
He
He's
just needed the
talking
top.
about Myers Leonard, by the way. We did a live build for him.
Yes, sir.
So
that's good news. Go Heat.
Go Heat!
Go Heat.
What game monitor would you recommend for around $350 or less? Oh man, there's a lot you can get for that price point, to be honest. I would check out reviews, but definitely if you're going with that price point, make sure you grab something with 240 hertz refresh rate. I don't know if you could probably. It's gonna be tricky to find the sweet spot for the 4K. I think pretty sure you could probably find one for 1440p and 240 refresh rate. Try to find one with those specs. So. Buildings.
See what Brian put?
Yeah, I saw what Brian put. When is the next stream? We're working on it. Don't worry, Syntax. We got you. The wheels are turning behind the scenes. I've been part of the email threads. Don't worry. I'm reading this question here. 2700X, 32, 2660, something get more frames than mine. I'm not sure what could be the source. I mean, it could be system settings. The thing is, the 2060 Super and the 2700X are solid components. It could be the games. I don't know. It's tricky to pinpoint. I would probably run benchmarks if you can. 3D Mark is on sale. I'm not hashtagging ad here. I'm just saying the 3D Mark's a really good tool if you want to check out how good your computer is. It's on sale right now for Steam, the complete collection. It's a good tool to test your PC parts and to see how your PC stacks up against the general, market. It's cool. I personally own it. I know we use it from time to time here. Waiting for 8K gaming to become standard. I would probably say 4 years. The thing is, you have to make assets for that, man.
Yo!
How's Myers Leonard? Look, he's just cute. Stop by and say hi. Hey, Myers. Is he on his way to Orlando now?
I'm not sure if he's on his way to Orlando now. He said he was leaving early. I'm pretty sure
Okay,
he is.
he probably
Asked him
is,
if he would
but,
stop and check the stream when we were doing it.
Yeah, good luck, Myers. Stay safe
Heck
up
yeah,
there.
Man, good luck, dude.
I'm excited to see the season come back, but whew. And PJ just said the story about how you're taking your PC up there with you, which is pretty cool. So glad to hear it. Make us proud. Everyone's hyped. Test Elgato now? On the bus to Orlando. Oh, he's on the bus now. Okay, cool.
Oh.
Well, thanks for tuning in. You just caught us on the tail end. We're about to wrap it up. So, 1660 future-proof for 2 more years? I think that sounds about right.
On the bus to Orlando now.
So, but definitely keep an eye out for the future GPUs, man. We were talking about it earlier on the stream with the Completionist, but it's coming. I know it's coming. Again, I don't know if they are coming, but I'm just saying, I feel like it's definitely on the way.
Hey, Lewis, what game are you going to play next time you do a stream?
Most likely Death Stranding, I think.
Death Stranding. That's
Yeah.
what you were just telling me.
Yep. I mean, if we're up to me, I'd probably, if I had good internet at home, I'd probably just play Doom all the time. Show you guys some battle mode or some Ultra Nightmare gameplay.
They have deathmatch in there?
So Doom has what's called battle mode, which is one person plays as the Doom Slayer and the other 2 play as demons. It's not deathmatch like Halo.
Ah, okay.
The original game had deathmatch, but not too many people played it. They only picked up after the game came out. But yeah, again, if you guys haven't done so already, be sure to check out our social media channels at twitter.com/OriginPC for our giveaways. We're actually wrapping some up soon, if I'm not mistaken. So we're probably going to be announcing the winners or the winner for that giveaway soon too. I got some work to do, man. PJ, you got some work to do?
I'm crawling on the floor picking up zip ties.
Okay. But that's it for me. Again, we'll see you guys next time. We do have a live build and most likely a gameplay stream coming up, but I have to check with the team on that. But yeah. Again, thank you. Special thank you to the Completionist.
Bye.
But we are out of here. Again, I got some work to do. Some work to do.
Peace.
Peace. See you guys next time.
With Toxic featuring Amelia Moore, which came out a few weeks back and still such an incredible track. All right, about to come in right now is our community pick of the week, which is voted by you at live.monstercat.com. Here is One Look featuring Mammals and
It's by Luther, called Wild.